Hello and welcome to One Point Partition's install video for stainless steel with an alcove layout. These videos are to be used in conjunction with the printed install instructions that can be found in your order and also on our website. The most important step in the installation is the most critical step, and that is to lay out exactly where all parts and pieces are to be installed in the room per the design drawings. This allows you to know exactly where all the parts and pieces are to be placed and let you know if there's any issues beforehand. We will start by installing the alcove stall first. Here is what's in the Alcove Hardware Kit. All right, we'll start by installing the Pilaster bracket kit. Pilasters are 1.25 inches thick, while the panels and doors are 1 inch thick, and these particular brackets are made for the 1.25 inch thick pilasters. Now this is a set of panel brackets, and these are known as 2-eared or T-panel brackets. And we'll simply install those. All right, now we're ready for the Pilaster mounting hardware. First the plastic anchors go into the floor, then the shoe clip, then the L anchor clip. And those are just simply screwed to the floor. Okay, now we need a 12-inch block for support. And the reason is we'll be placing our panel onto that block and just simply setting it in the panel brackets. Next, we'll install our pilaster. Place the shoe over the pilaster, and you can use a piece of tape to hold that in place. We'll make that connection between the panel and the pilaster using step-down clips. And before you install the step-down clips, make sure your panel and your pilaster are perfectly plumb and level. You do not want any gap between the pilaster and the panel, and you can use the jack bolts at the bottom of the pilaster to make sure everything is plumb and level. Then you can use sheet metal screws to attach the clips and also attach the panel to the brackets. Right, now we'll move to the other side of the room and install the other pilaster. One thing to note, if your pilaster is to be attached to the wall, you only need one anchor clip on the floor. Next, we'll install our door using our door kit. And the first thing we'll do is install the bottom portion of the hinge onto the pilaster, and it's to be mounted 12 inches above the finished floor. And you can see we're using step bolts or through bolts to make this connection. We'll install the cam pintle, and that's part of our gravity cam closing system. In the bottom of the door goes the opposing cam, and then we install the top portion of the hinge onto the door. And at this point, we install or place the door onto the bottom portion of the hinge. Do a couple dry swings to make sure everything functions correctly, then secure the hinge to the pilaster. Next, on goes the knob set, along with a couple door pulls and a strike-in keeper. Next thing, we'll install the coat hook and bumper on the back side of the door, and this is to be mounted no more than 48 inches above the floor for handicap doors. On goes a standard door bumper, and then we plumb and level the pilaster, make sure the door functions correctly before securing the pilaster to the brackets. Now it's time to install the headrail bracing unit, and we need to install the headrail bracket kits first. You can temporarily place a piece of headrail on top of the pilasters to identify where these bracket kits are to be mounted. This particular alcove stall is longer than the longest standard piece of headrail that we have, so 2 pieces will need to be used, and you can just simply cut those down in the field. And it's preferable to use the factory ends and butt joint those above the middle pilaster. Right, here goes our cross bracing piece of headrail, just secured with our standard sheet metal screws. The last step is just to simply slide the pilaster shoes down and clip those into the shoe clips. We will now install our standard stall. We'll be using an in-panel kit here, otherwise known as a 1-eared or F bracket kit. We will also be installing a pilaster bracket kit onto the alcove stall. Right, now we'll be using our standard pilaster mounting hardware. In goes a plastic anchor, then the shoe clip, and then the L anchor clip, and just secure those to the floor. And please note that no more than 2 L anchor clips are needed per pilaster. Now we'll be using our 12-inch block to support the panel. Just simply slide that into the panel brackets, and then we'll install the pilasters. Be sure to slip the shoe over the pilaster before installing, and be sure to install the pilasters plumb and level. This particular pilaster will need to install U-brackets. Those U-brackets will be used to make the connection between the panel and the pilaster. Markings on the floor that you laid out at the very beginning of the installation will let you know where those brackets are to be mounted on the back side of that pilaster. And just simply use the sheet metal screws, the 5/8" sheet metal screws, to secure the panel to the brackets. Okay, now we're ready to install the door. Very similar process as the previous door. We'll be installing the bottom portion of the hinge first onto the pilaster, and that's to be right at 12 inches to match the other door and the panels. In comes our nylon cam, and keep in mind this is adjustable. You can set how the door is set at the rest position just simply by turning the bottom portion of the cam. Here comes our upper portion of the hinge. We'll secure that to the door using a pin. And then setting the door onto the bottom portion, do a dry fit before securing the top portion of the hinge to the pilaster. Here comes our concealed latch knob set, and along with our striking keeper. And here comes our coat hook and bumper, which is typically mounted in the upper corner of the door on the latch side. And now we can plumb and level our pilaster using the jack bolt at the bottom. And once it's plumb and level, secure the pilaster to the pilaster brackets. Okay, now it's time to finish it all out with the headrail. We'll be using the standard headrail bracket kit here. We'll be mounting a set to the wall, and then we'll be mounting a set onto the alcove stall. And that just simply screws right into the existing headrail. Cut your headrail down to size. Be sure to use the factory end wherever the end is exposed. And here comes our last piece of headrail. We'll be putting a cover on the end of the headrail just to cover up that empty space. And we'll finish it out by snapping the shoes down onto the shoe clips. Thanks for watching, and be sure to contact us anytime by way of phone, email, or text if you have any questions whatsoever during your installation.